Okay. So each of you has. Well, let me just start. You guys are both sleeping aboard an airship, heading on its way to the prison city of Gornal. You both were caught doing illegal activities. I won't reveal what it was. You can reveal it if you'd like later on. But you're both caught, convicted, and sentenced to an indiscriminate amount of time at the city. It has been a few days since your sentencing, and you are now aboard an airship heading to the city. You guys aren't in the same bunkhouse or the same bunks as each other. So, for the sake of it, what would you guys like to do aboard the airship? You still have maybe a few hours until you arrive.
We haven't met each other yet, right?
No.
You said our hands are chained up, or what?
Your hands are not bound, but you do not have any of your gear.
Alright.
Fair enough. Alright. Well, for this moment, I will change my appearance to look like a guard.
You're casting a spell, or are you using Mask of Many Faces?
Mask of many faces.
Let me look up if that's magic or not.
We don't have any items starting with, right? Or do we?
It's this guy's self, but
No, I
can
was just
use it-
wondering.
I can use it without using any slots.
Yeah, you're good. I was just wondering.
Okay, manual. As you begin to use your Mask of Many Faces, give me a Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
Alright.
I just want to point this out, dude. The Blood Hunter class that Matt Mercer came up with might be the most complicated class ever.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like I'm sitting here like you got so many things to fucking choose and it's complicated as fuck.
Save is
It's
6
cool,
plus
but-
6 on that, so 14.
14?
Yeah.
You go to cast. It's not really cast, but you go to trigger it, and you feel your appearance start to change, and then the magic kind of eases back, and you're to your normal form.
Okay.
Did I see anything happen? Like, was there like any? I don't know if I'm even nearby him, so.
I'll assume, Manny, that you went off by yourself to try and do it
I did it in my bunker.
in your
My
bunk. Okay. So the other prisoners in there with you, they kind of look at you curiously, and then they just go back to sleep.
I go, damn it. Maybe next time. I
Okay.
head out of my bunker somewhere to brood.
Okay. You head up to the upper deck, or are you just exploring the ship?
I'm gonna go ahead and explore the ship for the time being. Just gonna casually walk.
Okay. Miney, what would you like to do?
Oh, I am with my pet.
Okay.
Are we dressed like prisoners? I'm assuming.
You're in common clothes.
Okay. Is it nighttime or?
It's morning. You guys have just woken up.
Okay. And we don't have any weapons or anything. We're stripped of all that, right?
Yeah. Your hands are. They're not bound. They are. It's weird. They're not bound by like cloth or metal, but they are bound by these strange metal rings that you were given after sentencing and prior to transport. And they don't keep your hands bound together, but you can't seem to raise your arms above your head, and you can't seem to outstretch them that far. So it's almost like an invisible bond.
Okay. Um, do we know like any prior events to like before we were on this airship?
Like what?
Like just like us being boarded onto it or anything? Like just small
Yeah.
little details? Or...
You guys were sentenced. You awaited transport in a local jail, wherever you were caught. And then one day, these guards, not dressed the same as normal guards, but in their own strange uniforms, came and got you, loaded you on the airship, and sent you on your way. And that was maybe 3 or 4 days ago.
Alright. So my character, would you say I could glide with my uh one transformation? The what is it called? It's a fallen ASMR, so it's the necrotic shroud. It's flightless wings, but I mean they are wings. Could you at least like glide with them maybe? Or
I'll Google it just to be sure. According to YouTube, or not YouTube, I'm sorry, according to Google, since they're flightless wings, they cannot glide.
alright, good to know. So that's not a way I could get out of this ship. Fuck. I mean, I guess my character would probably just try and get his stuff back, or just try and look around for like information, just like trying to find people that would be able to help him.
Okay. Give me an investigation check, both of you.
Alright.
All right.
My cord. This
Damn.
sucks.
Let's see. That get it all. 12.
12, okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to fucking move shit. I just reorganized my room, so. Fuck. Alright, we can put that there. Put this there. That'll work. D20. Sorry, I'm fried.
You're fine.
Okay, I got a high investigation or intelligence. It's a pretty damn good roll. 20. 23.
23. You both, pretty easily, after surveying the ship, you find that the lower levels are where the prisoners are kept. The level above that is the guard's bunk. And then the level above that is the mess hall. And then there's the deck of the ship. As you both are scouting around, you do notice that there are plenty of guards keeping their eye on you. They are heavily equipped. They're not wearing guard armor, they're wearing plate mail. And they have brought great swords and large crossbows. As you guys make your way through the ship, you eventually find your way to the top deck. And it's a pretty clear day. You can see pretty far. The top deck seems to be empty right now, except for a few workers who are adjusting sails and cleaning the top deck.
All right. I look for I'm gonna go ahead and talk to one of the workers.
Okay. You walk over to a guy cleaning the top deck. Yes.
I'm gonna talk in their mind. I'm gonna sit down casually and just talk in their mind.
Okay. What are you saying?
This is your conscious talking. So tell me where the supplies are, or the equipment is being held.
Okay. Make a deception check.
All right. 26.
26. You see the man kind of like stop brushing and he kind of looks around curiously. And then in his own head, you hear his thoughts. He says, well, the only supplies on the ship our food and water. Any of the equipment that the prisoners brought has already been magically transported to the city.
Good, good. Now, I want you to go ahead and release what stop what you're doing and go back to sleep.
He kind of looks at the mop, kind of gently sets it down, and slowly and cautiously kind of creeps over to the staircase leading below deck.
I I get up and I grab the mop and start walking with it.
Okay. Anything you like to do,
Start
Marty?
start toward I start heading towards the supplies.
Question. Am
Yeah.
I able to am I able to do like so you know what the fuck is it called? For the Blood Hunter, you know the thing where you can like brand your weapons and like make them like on fire, what like not on fire, but whatever the right is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, I can't. Can I not use esoteric, right? Oh, I can't use an esoteric. Fuck. That goes against my character. Alright. Well, okay. So I can't do necrotic then for my right. Alright. Sorry, I'm thinking.
You're fine.
Alright, can I? Okay, basically, can I use my right on my fists?
I don't know. Let me look it up. What's it called?
I couldn't. It's Crimson Right for the Blood Hunter.
According to Matthew Mercer himself, you cannot use Crimson Right on an unarmed strike.
Damn it. Okay. Alright, well,
Funny thing, originally you could, but he had to nerf it.
yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna just like look around for a guard like that might just have a post that's kind of unfortunate and in a corner somewhere like that I might be able to subdue them without alerting everyone.
Okay, make a perception check.
Alright, fuck. Well, that's not too bad. Hold on. Oh, but that's a -1. Alright. 14.
14.
Yeah.
Doing a quick survey.
Wait, no, wait, it's higher.
Okay,
17 because I have proficiency.
17. Doing a quick surveying your surroundings. You notice the guards are kind of positioned 2 at a time, so they're not alone. You don't really see anybody who would stand out as an easy target. They all seem pretty hefty. And you don't know how well you'd be able to subdue someone with the bindings on your hands.
True. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just go around and I don't know. I can't really do much. So I just investigate some more. Just anything that piques my interest, I guess.
Okay. As you guys kind of...
Speaking of which, anybody seen my pseudo dragon? Because my pseudo dragon's been on my shoulders the whole entire time.
Your pseudo dragon?
Yeah, that's my pet.
Okay. They... Sorry, I had to cough. They haven't really paid much attention to your pseudo dragon. They know it's there, they acknowledge it, but they don't seem to pay it much mind. It's almost like it's not an inconvenience, it's not a threat. So they kind of just
Okay.
they let you keep it. It can't do much. It's as if they know that you're very limited aboard the ship.
All right, good.
But as you guys are kind of resigning to your situation, excuse me, you hear from the crow's nest, someone shout, "Land ho!" And you hear a lot of the other prisoners coming up from the below decks, coming to get a glimpse of whatever they're seeing. Manny, what's your character's name again?
Oh, Sirocco.
Sirocco. Okay. I want to call you guys by your characters' names. So, Sirocco, you up on the top deck, you do see the coming into view this large stone-walled, almost like an island, just situated in the middle of some rough waters. It's quite large. It's large to the point that you can see the beginning of it, but it kind of just stretches off into the distance, and you can't see where the walls end.
All right.
Marty, what's your character's name again?
Lucian Ignatia.
Okay, Lucian. You hear the commotion coming from the top deck, but I assume you're still below deck?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys feel the ship kind of start to descend, and after a few minutes you feel the lurch of it hitting something, and it just kind of stops. The guards start rounding everybody up, taking you from below deck and the top deck out on a gangplank to a large tower that sits not in the entrance of the city. Well, it's at the edge of the city or the island.
All right.
But as you guys are being led down the gangplank, you see not too many, maybe 20 or so other prisoners ahead of you, formed into a line, and they're slowly being, it looks like they're being checked in or processed. You guys are kind of not, what's the word I'm looking for? Not roughly being handled, but they kind of, the guards kind of shove you so you get into a line, and you guys begin processing.
Do any of the guards have like daggers or anything?
Make a perception check.
God
I'm
damn
gonna
it.
make one too.
Yeah, go ahead.
I still have the mop in my hand too.
Oh, that's pretty good. 16.
16.
No, higher. 19.
19. Okay.
And I got a unnatural 20.
Okay. You do notice the guards, they don't have much on them. It looks like they have their great sword and their crossbow. They don't keep anything on their hips. They don't keep anything on their chests. It's just their plate armor and their weapons. You do notice, however, on some of the guards, they have these strange stones resting in a holster on their sides.
Can I Arcana check that?
Make an Arcana
Wait,
check.
we didn't notice daggers or anything you said?
No, they seem to be kind of barren on. They don't have anything on their belts, and they don't have anything other than their great swords and their crossbows. But you do notice some of them. 10. You do notice they have strange stones in holsters on their sides.
What do the stones look like? Do they glow or anything?
They don't glow. They look just like these polished, smooth sandstones.
Have I seen anyone use one?
Not yet.
With the 10, does that tell me anything?
With a 10, you're not too close to them, and you're not familiar with them, so you can't tell if they're magical in nature or something. You can kind of surmise they might be. Otherwise, why would the guards just have random stones on their sides?
Alright.
I go to stealth check and swipe one.
Okay, make a
Or
stealth
not
check.
stealth, but sleight of hand. I mean.
Sleight of hand, yes.
I'd
don't
like
think I'm
to,
proficient in that.
I'd like to pierce into the mind of one of the guards that's right next to me and make it look like the mop's talking to him.
That's no bueno. 12.
12, okay. Yeah.
I say,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Hold on,
This
Manny.
is your
Hold on. With a natural 1, the guard does not notice.
But there's
And-
other guards that are around. Would they would noticed?
Let's roll for all those guards. I'll just roll one check
Oh
for all of
my.
them. You kind of break off from the line, and you start you don't break off, you kind of just move closer to one of the guards on the sides. You go to swipe the stone with a careful grip, and you notice immediately there are 2 guards kind of standing behind you, and they kind of just shoot daggers at you.
Uh,
They kind of just look at you, shake their head. One kind of grabs you by the scuff of your collar and shoves you back in line.
Do I see this?
Yes, you see this.
I really wanted to
Alright.
know what it did.
Okay, but Manny, you said you want to communicate through the guard telepathically.
Yeah. How far is he from me?
They're not far. They're on. You're in a line, and they're basically stationed on the side of the line.
So they're within 30 feet.
Yes, they're within 30 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do this again. This is your conscience talking to you. What does the belt do again?
Okay, make a deception check.
And that is a 21.
Okay. The guard kind of you can see it on his face. He gets a little confused, and he like reaches for the stone, and then he kind of calms down, and he just thinks in his head, the stones are meant to subdue troublesome prisoners.
All right. How do you deactivate it again?
He kind of looks around a little more, and he thinks to himself,
I'm not even looking at him.
You're
I
not
don't
looking
even-
at him.
I'm not even breathing.
He kind of looks around, and he thinks to himself, it doesn't deactivate. You just point it at a prisoner, press the rune, and it does its work.
That'll be all. You should take a rest afterwards. In a
You
nice, safe
You see him
place.
he kind of like rubs his temples, and the other guards kind of like shove him to get him to pay attention. As the line moves forward,
I did not like how he did that to you. You should slap him.
make a persuasion check.
Let's see. Persuasion is +4 and 22.
22. You see him
Oh,
kind of.
yes.
He turns to the other guard, and he just kind of looks at him, and then he just kind of backhands him, just not too hard, kind of almost like a joking slap on the shoulder. The other guard kind of like shakes his head, looks at him, and then just goes back to his duties.
Good.
Okay.
That'll be all.
Okay. As the line progresses forward, you guys eventually come up to a large desk. You see the other prisoners ahead of you. They basically signed some paperwork, some goods were exchanged, and then this strange silver collar was clamped around their neck. And then they were led deeper into the city, or they were led to what looks like an elevator going down to the city. As you guys approach the desk, let's see who goes first. Lucian.
Yeah.
You approach the desk. They kind of look at you. It's a small woman, a human woman, with graying hair, spectacles resting on her nose, and she's a little heavy set. It looks like she doesn't get much exercise. But she kind of looks at you and says, "What's your name?"
Hold on, look, I'm taking a piss.
God damn it. Okay. Lucian, you're... God damn.
In the middle of the whole entire line, Lucy just decides to take a piss.
He just goes over to the side, starts pissing off the side of the tower. Manuel, how do you pronounce your name again? It's
It's a Rocco.
Sirocco. Okay, I wanted to say Serpico. But,
Oh,
Sirocco, you come up next to Lucian, and he kind of just stares off into the distance. The woman kind of shakes it off and looks at you and says, "What's your name?"
What is my name? Billy.
Okay, make a deception check.
21.
21. She kind of looks over her papers, and she looks a little confused. She kind of gestures over to one of the guards, and the guard comes over, and he's like, "What's the problem?" And she goes, "He says his name is Billy, but I can't find any paperwork on him." The guard kind of looks you up and down.
Did you try using a last name?
She goes, you see her kind of have that moment of, She goes, "What's your last name?"
Maze.
Make another deception check.
God damn it.
13.
13. She kind of looks at you and smiles and says, "You're not the first prisoner to try and pull that. What's your real name?"
Sarako.
Last name?
Draft.
Okay. She takes some of the papers, she looks through them. She kind of looks you over and looks back down on the paper and says, "You'll be here for a while." And she kind of slides it over to you with a pen and says, "Sign it."
I sign it, but I sign it as Billy Mays.
She she takes the paper, she sees what you sign, she just kind of shakes her head. She kind of gestures, and the guard comes up behind you.
You should have put Bill Mays.
The guard comes up behind you with one of the collars and clamps it around your neck. After he does this, he takes the invisible bonds that kind of bind your hands. He takes out the stone, touches the bonds, and they kind of unclamp, and you can move your hands now.
All right.
Lucian, after Sirocco kind of does what he does, you're next in line, and she kind of
I
looks.
pierce the lady's mind real quick, and I say, "I will be seeing you eventually later."
You see her kind of look around, confused. Okay, Lucian. She looks at you and
As she's
says,
just looking around, I just go, Lucian Ignatia.
she kind of flips
Before
through.
like she even gets a word out.
Yes. She kind of looks through her paper. She finds what she's looking for, and she kind of skims over it, and she kind of looks at you. She looks you up and down, kind of shakes her head, and then slides the papers over it and says, "Just sign it."
I sign my name backwards.
Like in reverse, or you start from the end of your name and work backwards?
I start from the right, and I do the L, and then you know, and go
Yeah, yeah.
backwards that way.
She kind of looks at it, and she kind of just rubs her temples and says, "Today's just not my day." And then you feel the cold kind of collar
and-
clamp around your neck.
As I kind of walk past, okay, never mind. Go on. You're collaring me.
Yeah, you get the collar around your neck. The guard takes out a stone, touches your bonds, and they kind of fall off. Your hands are free to move around now. But what were you gonna say?
He walks away and goes, it's still early.
She just shakes her head. You're led over to the elevator. After a few more prisoners, just random, humans, tieflings. It's a pretty diverse bunch. But after about 4 or 5 more people get on the elevator, the guard kind of pulls the lever. It lurches and starts to slowly lower down to the city itself. You guys are lowered. You can see the whole city now. Well, not the whole city. It's quite large. But you see a couple notable areas. You see a long stretch of building with these bright red roofs and these black tarps kind of covering from roof to roof, obscuring the streets. And it's just this one strip kind of in the middle of this landscape of boring brown houses that look exactly the same, just kind of spiraling out from the center of the city.
Logan, I'm not gonna lie. I find it amazing they allowed me to keep a mop with me this whole entire freaking time.
They don't seem to care. It's just a mop.
For now. Continue. I'm sorry.
You're fine. But you see it's just kind of nestled amongst the center of all these boring buildings. But you do notice right away, almost not in the center of the city, kind of off to the right, is this large dome with 4 pillars, one on each side, kind of lifting it above the houses. And it just kind of... Oh, hold on. Ooh. Sorry, I had to burp. It casts a shadow over the houses below it, and it kind of glows with this faint magical aura. Even in the sunlight, you can see this faint glow. But you guys are lowered into a small building at the bottom of the tower. The guard kind of opens the gate for the elevator, and you guys are ushered out. You're led into another processing chamber almost with lines of criminals. And you can see up ahead the guards are handing them backpacks. Some are handing them these sheathed weapons. It looks like they're getting their equipment back. But
They're getting their equipment back?
yeah, it looks like they're getting equipment back. You don't know if it's theirs or if it's just standard issue or whatnot, but it looks
I'm
like
gonna
they,
make sure. I'm gonna put the in my equipment.
Those are
Mop,
prisoners, right?
yeah, the prisoners are getting their stuff back.
and it
Okay.
does 1d100 damage.
It only to dirt though.
Exactly.
Wait, what?
His mop. But you guys are pushed into line. You're not near each other. You haven't really had any. You were on the elevator together and you were on the ship together, but you haven't had any interaction yet.
Yeah.
But as you guys are led through the line, after maybe 5 minutes, you reach the end. The guard kind of looks you up and down and says, "What's your name?"
To me or
To you, Lucian.
Lucian Ignatia.
He kind of nods. He reaches back to this small crate behind him. After a few minutes of fumbling, he kind of turns and you see he's holding your equipment, your weapons and such, your armor. He kind of just holds it out. You put your hands out and he just drops it into your arms. And he says, and he kind of points down the line towards another group of prisoners with what looks like 5 or 6 guards. And he says, "Go wait with them."
Thanks. And I just walk off with my stuff.
Okay. Sirocco, basically the same thing happens. He asks for your name.
Sirocco.
He nods. He looks behind him in the crate. For this time, he takes maybe 2 minutes of just moving bags and jostling weapons, and he pulls this large sack of your equipment out. He kind of holds it out, drops it in your arms, points to the same group you saw Lucian go to, and says, "Go wait with them."
Okay. Only
Okay.
this time.
Okay. You guys head over to the group. After maybe 2 more people join you, the guards kind of nod to each other and they say, "We'll take you to your housing. Follow us." And they kind of open the doors to the bright city streets. As you exit the building, you notice that there are maybe 100 to 200 people, all wearing collars, kind of crowded around the entrance, being held at bay by maybe 40 or 50 guards. No, more like 70. And they're like holding the crowd back as the crowd's just kind of watching the newcomers, yelling and jeering at them.
Do we still have collars on?
Yes.
Okay.
But they kind of are yelling and jeering, and you're led through the crowd, which the guards kind of part. You're led into a nice little alleyway, and they kind of just begin leading you off. You're with maybe 3 other people. One of the guys looks to be a halfling. One of them is a dragonborn. And the third guy is just this kind of overweight human guy who looks incredibly scared.
You'll be the first to go. That's how
But,
it goes.
You're led through the streets. You're led through the streets. It seems like there's less people in the streets right now. They might be working or doing whatever. But sorry, I had to yawn. You guys are led for maybe 5 minutes until you reach this building that looks exactly like all the other buildings. The guard kind of goes up, unlocks the door, throws it open. He kind of gestures, and the other guards usher you in. Once inside, the guard just kind of looks at you and says, "This is your new home. Try to take care of it, because we won't." And then he kind of shuts the door, and you watch as the guards kind of just disperse back into the city.
How many of us are in this home?
About 5, you 2 and 3 others.
Fuck.
But
Alright. So do I look dirty right now?
um, You guys haven't bathed in a while. You've been on the ship, and before that, you were in jail.
I use prestidigitation on myself.
Okay. This time, when you cast a spell, it does take effect. So prestidigitation, you feel yourself be kind of cleaned up. The rest of them watch this. The rest of you watch this. The three normal people, or not normal people, the three other prisoners, kind of just look kind of confused. The halfling kind of looks a little scared. He kind of is clutching his bag to his chest. The dragonborn is just kind of standing tall, kind of just, checking you guys out, surveying if you're, maybe worth maybe a threat or something like that.
I pierced into his mind.
Okay.
If you try anything, your throat will be slit in your sleep. This is your subconscious talking.
Make an intimidation check.
Intimidation check. I am decently good at. That's 24.
24. You kind of see him for a brief moment. His eyes kind of open wide with fear. And he kind of just looks around like, where the hell is that coming from? But he kind of eventually kind of calms down. And he thinks to himself, I won't cause any trouble.
Good.
The third, the human, he kind of looks to you, Lucien. How would you describe your character, Miney? Are you tall, short, imposing, kind of,
This is what my character looks like.
About 5'10", pale skin, like palish white. He is dressed. I mean, are we in the clothes that we had before we got taken here?
You're in common clothes right now, but your clothes that you were wearing when you were caught are in the bag.
Okay, the normal clothes he wears is like very fine clothing. And what color would his eyes be? I guess I'm gonna have his eyes like a shade of blue, because I can't fucking go with necrotic, because that's later. But trying to think what else. What color hair does he have? I guess black hair.
Okay.
And he's like about 5'10",
Okay.
probably.
The human guy kind of just looks you over. He looks over you, Sirocco. Sirocco, if you'd like to describe your character, you can as well.
I sent a visual.
Oh, you sent a picture. That's right. Sorry, my phone is like on my bed, so I don't see it light up.
That's what. Basically, he's taking his time to put on his gear and everything. When we originally had, which was like a leather coat.
Okay.
That basically drapes over his body, which like color brown. His skin palishly blue, hair a very ashen white, and his pet, a pseudo dragon, that sits there on his shoulder at all times.
Okay. You see the human gentleman kind of clear his throat. And he kind of approaches the two of you, and he goes, my name's Gregory, and he kind of shakes his hand out he extends his hand out to shake hands, and you can see he's shaking very badly. And after a few minutes of just kind of awkward silence, he kind of...
Yeah, I'm just kind of like staring at him like, I probably won't be here long.
I shake his hand too, and I say, you're probably the first to go instead. I thought it was going to be the fat boy.
No, this is the fat boy.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh, you definitely are going to be the first one to go.
He kind of looks at you as you say that. You can see his eyes start to tear up a bit.
I cast friends on him.
Okay. What's the save for that?
God damn it. I forgot. I forgot it was a save. I think it's a wisdom saving throw. Or charisma. Let's see. Okay. It is a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
You have advantage on charisma check?
He fails.
Oh, charisma checks. Okay, sweet. At this moment, he believes I'm friends with him for for the time being, for about a
Okay.
minute.
He kind of gets a smile on his face, and he kind of like goes to hug you. And he's like, it's good to have a friend in a place like this.
All right, so you know what friends do? They share stuff.
He kind of looks at you and says, "Well, yes, of course. What do you need?"
Do you have any wine?
Um, he kind of looks through his pack and he kind of tosses some stuff out. You see the Dragonborn and the Halfling are kind of just watching this display, kind of leaned back, just kind of like, what is going on? And then eventually the Halfling kind of gets bored and heads upstairs. But Gregory kind of looks through his pack and he's like, I don't have any wine. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Guess we're gonna have to do it the hard way. All right, lay on the table.
He kind of
I
looks.
walk upstairs. Are we? Oh, is it kind of just a free for all for picking rooms?
It looks like it.
I walk up and I look for the best looking master-ish bedroom, which I'm assuming obviously isn't nice, but I just look for that one,
Okay.
and as soon as I find it, I pull out my great axe and just slam it into the front of the door, and I just lay claim to that room.
Okay.
This is mine.
Why?
watch-
My God! It's already been an hour. The guy's already been carved to pieces, and there's been a blood ritual happening.
Okay.
No,
We'll get to that in a
I'm
second.
joking.
I know. But Lucian, you head upstairs and you see the nicest bedroom. You see the halfling kind of looking. He's peeking into the room as you kind of round the corner with your great axe and you just dig into the door. You see him kind of jump back, and he goes, "Fair enough," and he backs off and he goes into a different room.
And if I leave, I expect it to be here when I come back.
You see him he kind of just looks back at you with fear in his eyes, and he goes, "No worries, it's all yours." And he just kind of ducks into a room and slams the door behind him. As this is happening, you hear the footsteps and you see the Dragonborn kind of walking up with his pack on his shoulder. He kind of looks at you and just nods and then heads off to a different room.
Good.
Sirocco, you see the man kind of look at you and he's like,
Hi.
I don't really want to get on the table.
Prestidigitation him.
What would you like to do with prestidigitation?
It's gonna clean him.
Oh, it's going to clean him.
talking
Okay.
about? That's what prestidigitation does. Besides making it look like he farted.
Okay, so you kind of clean him up and he kind of looks at you and says, thank you. And he kind of
Get on
grabs
the,
his...
get on the table as I pull out my sacrificial dagger.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage because you pull out your dagger and he puts two and two together.
Wow. All right. Persuasion is 18. No, 18. 16.
16. He kind of looks at you, looks at the table, looks at the dagger, kind of picks up all his things, and slowly backs his way up the stairs.
Oh,
And
I
when
was
he-
just joking.
When he reaches
All right.
the top, he turns around and bolts to a room.
I pierce into his mind. I'm like, you can run, but you cannot hide. We all live in this area.
You hear him kind of make an audible screech, like a quick scream, as one of the doors slams behind him.
Do we have any idea, like, kind of, can we tell from what some of these look like the crimes they may have committed?
Look, make a perception check.
Alright. Like, is there anyone, like, who would be along the lines of, like, oh shit, I dropped my dice, of, like, a killing type?
Make your perception check.
And, 16. Sorry, I have to add my proficiency and then minus my actual modifier. So it's a little complicated.
It's fine.
Do-
Looking at them.
Do I make a stealth check on this?
What would you like to do? What are you trying to do? I couldn't hear
Well,
you earlier.
like, if he's gonna perception check this check.
Oh, yeah. Make
Or deception check.
a deception. You're trying to you're trying to be deceptive. You're trying to carry yourself different, so it's hard to read you.
All right, 27.
27. Okay. Lucian, looking at them, the halfling, he's kind of scrawny looking. He doesn't look like he'd be much of a fighter, but he looks quick with his hands, so you can kind of maybe surmise he might be a pickpocket.
Yeah.
The Dragonborn is a big brute of a man. He looks like he could be a fighter, or he could be in for anything along the lines of fighting. And then for the portly gentleman, he kind of looks like a noble almost. Maybe you don't think he would be. He could have committed a murder. You're not sure, but he looks more like he'd be in there for something money related. But you could always ask him if you'd like. And then for Sirocco, you can't really read him.
Okay. Did the noble look like strong or like deadly at all? Intimidating?
He looked incredibly frail.
Okay, so pretty much no use. Alright, I just keep an eye on the Dragonborn. I'm kind of just like, I might just see where his head's at on how long he wants to stay here.
Okay. You guys, after a few minutes of kind of being in the house, there's a knock at the door. You see the halfling kind of cautiously go downstairs. He kind of peeks out the side window and then opens the door. And standing there's a gentleman dressed in nicer clothes, but he still has a collar around his neck. He kind of introduce. You can't. If you'd like to be down there for the conversation, you can. But from what you gather, just by
I walk down just to see.
I use Mask of Many Faces to make myself look like a guard and walk down there.
Okay. Does Mask of Many Faces change clothing?
Yes.
Okay.
It's disguise self.
Oh, it's this guy's self. Okay. As you both walk down, he kind of looks up and he kind of gestures just a hello, and he goes, I'm here to introduce myself. I am your officer. It's kind of confusing, but I'm a prisoner as well, but I'm here to help you settle into your new lives. But he kind of looks you over and says, my name is, well, you can call me Lucky. And he goes, and he kind of looks at you, Sirocco, and you see him kind of curiously look at you. And then he kind of just shakes his head, and he goes, you can pick up any work you need in the city. Food is not provided to you. You will have to pay for it yourself at the local stores. But jobs are plentiful in the city. You can find work. But if you're looking for higher paying jobs, you might try the center. There you can pick up mercenary work. It's a fair split. Whatever gold you get, percentage goes to the city, a percentage goes to you. And any magic items you find, you can keep, so long as they aren't too deadly or could aid you in escape. But he goes, if you're looking for work, I'd check there. And if you're looking just for basic cleaning or running shops or anything like that, there's a bulletin board near the center that you can also pick up odd jobs at. And he kind of looks and says, again, my name is Lucky. If you need to talk to me, I'm in the Silver Branch. Just come looking for me and ask for Lucky, and you'll be pointed in my direction. And he kind of gives a kind bow, turns around, and walks away.
Alright. I was gonna ask you, Logan, for the
Yes.
sake of the game, what do you have planned for us to stay here a while, or do you have planned for us to escape?
I have planned for you to stay a while. You can eventually try and
Okay.
escape, but for now, I have planned.
Okay. I just wanted to not derail it at the very start,
I appreciate that.
so. Okay, good to know.
I pull out of my inventory a mop. I go over to
Do
Gregory
Okay.
and I tell him, if you want to stay alive, make sure you keep this place clean.
He kind of looks at you and looks at the mop, and he kind of just nods shakily, and he doesn't have a bucket or anything, so he just kind of takes the dry mop, and starts kind of almost sweeping with it. Man, it's
That's
getting windy
right.
out.
I want this place spotless when I get back.
He kind of just shakily nods and says, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Thank you.
You hear the Dragonborn coming downstairs. He kind of looks you over and kind of shakes his head and says, I'm going to go see if I can find work. And he just kind of shoves past you guys and heads out into the street.
I shove back.
Okay. Make a strength check.
All right. Let's see. 13.
13. You kind of, as he shoulder checks you, you stiffen up and kind of push back, and he kind of stumbles back a bit. And you can see for a brief moment this kind of surprise in his eyes. And he kind of just shoots you daggers and then walks around you and out the door.
That's right.
You see the halfling. He kind of looks a little scared. Not as scared as Gregory, but he kind of like rifles through his pockets and doesn't find anything. He kind of just, you see his shoulders kind of hunch forward and goes, "I'm gonna go see if I can find some work too. I need to eat soon." And he kind of turns and leaves. So now it's just you two and Gregory, as Gregory is kind of
Well,
poorly
since
sweeping with a mop.
since they decided not to ask me if I had any rations, here's one. Here's one for you. Hey,
By the
Gregory,
way-
you're doing a good job. Here's one for you.
My scamel I'm wearing is incorporated into my armor, like into my clothing.
Okay.
So I don't know how to. Yeah.
Alright.
But my character, I guess, before that one guy left, I asked about work for, like, I don't know, killing monsters or stuff like that. I guess.
Okay. He kind of looks at you and says, "Well, mercenary work at the center typically includes monster hunting, defending villages, going into dungeons and gating an eye. It's typical mercenary work or adventuring work. But
Yeah.
people come to us when they're desperate, when other adventurers have failed, so they come to criminals, or if they feel the job is too dangerous for adventurers and they'd rather send someone," and he kind of uses air quotes and goes, "expendable." And he's like, "No offense." And he kind of points to
Like
the collar.
Gregory. I say this out loud.
You hear Gregory kind of like make a little noise as he continues mopping. But eventually Lucky leaves. The halfling and the dragonborn leave. And Gregory is just sweeping with a mop.
I hand Gregory, me, and Lucian each a ration.
Okay.
You hand us all a ration.
Yep.
I just
Each
kind of
of
like
us.
my character just stares at you and just eats it right on the spot, and then just kind of continues to stare and then walks off.
I talk to Petrie and I tell him, like telepathically, and I say, "Hey, keep an eye on that guy. You might want to eat."
Could
his
I tell
flesh."
what race he was, by the way?
Who, Sirocco?
Yeah.
What race are you, Sirocco?
Me, I'm a Genasi air.
Air Genasi. Okay.
Air Gena-
So, he kind of looks humanoid-ish. He's got a different tint. His skin is a different color. His hair is a little off. You give me an intelligence check.
Okay, hold on.
One of the most noticeable things about me is that I'm not. For the whole entire time that you've been around me,
Hey.
I haven't had breathed any air for the longest time. I
Okay.
haven't been breathing.
With an 8, you can't determine what race he would be, but you do gather he's a humanoid of some sort. He's not something like a centaur, obviously, or a minotaur. He's more down to earth.
On top of that, you've noticed now that I'm not breathing.
Yes, he's not breathing, which is a little strange. And you see Gregory has noticed, and he's kind of like his breathing itself kind of gets a little more rapid as he kind of just stares you down.
Eat your food.
He kind of shakes his head and just carefully munches at the ration.
Leave my dice alone.
Okay.
I tell Petrie, keep an eye on both of them.
Okay.
You never know what's gonna happen.
You two, eventually Gregory he doesn't stop mopping. He kind of just, he says, I'm going to go see if I can find some odd jobs to do as well. I need some coin. And he kind of leaves through the door and enters the city. So it's just you two standing there now.
Is that the one that he's been tormenting?
Yes.
I haven't taken care of him. What you talking about?
I kind of look at his character and I go, well, I'm not used to being land bound, so I'm gonna do the next best thing I know how to do, and that's kill. So
Good. I like to
I'll
kill
walk
too.
off
Let's
for.
go.
All right. Uh, I guess we go to get a contract maybe or something. That's what I was looking for, like mercenary work, I guess.
Okay.
This is like a Batman. This is a Batman versus Superman moment. Martha. I know Martha.
I don't know that reference.
Oh, you didn't see Batman versus Superman? Damn.
No.
Okay. You guys head out into the city. It's maybe 6 o'clock now, or not? I'm sorry. It was morning when you arrived. It's more like noon. You guys head towards the center of the city, which is where the large dome was. Sorry, I'm yawning.
Sorry.
You eventually, the crowds, it's not too crowded. Oh, for the love of, the stupid chair broke again. Eventually, you guys reach the center of the city, the large dome, and there's, in each pillars, there are staircases that wrap up to the top of the dome. As you start to climb, a few people pass you by. You see some other prisoners kind of injured, kind of, bandaged up. You eventually pass 2 guards carrying an unconscious prisoner down the staircase. But other than that, you guys reach the top of the staircase, and you're greeted by this large open courtyard that's in the center of the dome. You see, it's not too crowded, but you do see in the center is this large desk with a bunch of people and a couple lines jutting out from it. As you both approach, you see it looks like people are getting contracts and then being led off by a representative or whatever to a separate chamber off to the right. After you wait in line for maybe 10 minutes, you're eventually led to the front of the desk. Behind the desk is a gnome, kind of rotund. He's a little heavy set, covered in tattoos, and just like you, wearing a silver collar around his neck. He kind of looks up as you approach and just kind of squints his eyes, and he says, goes, I haven't seen you here before. Are you new?
Yeah, fairly.
Well, I have contracts if you're interested.
I am.
He pulls out this strange kind of box, and he sets it on the table, and he says, give me your hand.
I put out my hand.
Okay. He kind of gently grabs it and kind of puts it into the box. You feel this strange kind of heat sensation, not burning, just it kind of a dull warmth kind of encompass your hand, and after a few seconds, the warmth kind of dissipates, and he pulls the box, and it kind of, on the backside, you see it kind of unfurl this little scroll. He kind of rips it off, he examines it, and he kind of nods, and he points to you, Sirocco, and he says, give me your hand. He kind of sees you clapping, just kind of shakes your hand, says, just give me your damn hand.
All right.
Okay. He takes your hand.
I put it in there.
You feel the same warmth, and after a few seconds, a little scroll kind of prints out on the back. He takes it, and he goes, okay. He goes, I've got 2 jobs that you 2 might be able to handle. Would you like to hear them, or would you like to just take them both?
I'll hear him
take 'em both.
and take it,
Okay.
I guess.
He goes,
Take 'em
the
both.
first job, there's a mayor in the town of Mosa. He's been having some troubles lately. According to what he says, his guards can't handle it. His people are scared. People are dying. And he kind of shrugs and says, it pays 900 gold. 675 to the city, 225 to be split amongst you 2.
What?
He says, hey, that's how it works.
What's the other one?
Um, the other one,
I'm probably taking them both, probably. So
a small hamlet in the mountains of Fona. They've been under siege by what they describe as undead. According to the contract, every night at exactly 4 a.m., the town is beset by undead creatures. They appear from a wall of mist that surrounds the town. That's all we know. No one knows where they're
that
coming
sounds
from.
fun.
No one knows where they're coming from. No one knows what they want. They just come to the town, attack, and then they're killed off. The townspeople have been killing them, but every night the same corpses show up again. He goes, this job doesn't have a payment listed, so you probably have to work that out with whoever put up the contract when you get there. But again, it's a 75%, or not 75%, what did I put? Hold on. I know I wrote this down. Sorry.
It's fun.
He goes, well, whatever percentage will go to the city, and the rest will go to you. And any magic items you find, you get to keep.
Do you know which one is more
Alright.
likely to have magic items?
He goes, he kind of shrugs and says, it's kind of hard to tell.
Useless. I'm kind of more interested in taking the undead one first, and then doing the other one.
I agree. And in piercing to the guy's mind, I tell him, this is your subconscious speaking to you. You're useless. It's suicide.
Make a deception check.
17 plus 8 is 25.
Okay. You see him kind of, again, he kind of grabs his forehead and he kind of looks around confused, kind of shakes his head, but you see his demeanor kind of changes from not generally happy, but more, now he's more kind of somber almost. Kind of like, well, what the hell was that? But he kind of pulls out the 2 envelopes and he hands them to you and says, whatever job you want to do first, there's no time limit. Just pick a job and do it. He goes, but once you pick a job, and he points over to the other room, go there and you'll be, and he kind of uses air quotes, transported to your destination.
Alright.
Okay. So he hands you the 2 envelopes. Which job would you 2 like to do first?
We're doing
You
the,
go for doing the undead one first, Manny?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Alright. We'll do
Okay.
that one first.
Okay. You walk over to the room. There are 2 guards on either side. They kind of look. You hold up your envelope. They kind of open it, scan it, and he kind of gestures to one of the guards who nods and opens the door and allows you into the chamber. Once you enter, you notice immediately the small room, maybe it was only 20 feet across, but as you enter the room, it's maybe 100 feet across. It's bigger on the inside. You see these raised dioceses where these hooded figures just kind of stand there waiting. As you enter, the guard kind of passes you off to 3 other guards. And these guards are a bit different. They are wearing plate mail, but they look a lot heftier and a lot stronger than the guards you've been seeing. They kind of nod. They kind of lead you up one of the dioceses to the top of it, and the hooded figure kind of approaches. The guard kind of leans in and whispers something in his ear. The figure nods. He kind of pulls his hood back, and you see she is a bald woman, and her whole face is covered in magic runes. All the way from the front of her face across the bald head to the back of her head.
Hot.
You see her kind of pull out her hands from the robe, and they're also covered in runes. You see the runes start to faintly glow as she kind of holds her hands out. And you feel the diocese kind of rumble. And then almost instantaneously, you just feel this cold rush of air as it wraps around you, and before you can even blink, you're suddenly in a different place. You're now in what looks to be a courtyard in the dead of night. But you see there are torchlights, and there are some people in the courtyard that kind of see you appear. A few of them kind of like stifle screams and kind of run away. A few of them kind of go to draw weapons, and they kind of stop when they see the guards in their regalia. One of the guards kind of looks at you and says your contact is a man named Archer. He's a town elder. Find him. And then he kind of takes a little satchel and he kind of holds it out. And he goes, when you're done with your job, use this to contact us. We'll come back and pick you up. And he kind of drops the satchel on the ground. And he says, and don't try and escape. And he kind of gestures to your collars. And he says, we know how to find you. And then you watch as the figure kind of glows again. The three guards and the hooded woman kind of, there's just a swirl of magical energy, and then they're gone.
Back in my mind, I'm thinking about burning this town.
Okay. It is the dead of night. You guys are alone in the courtyard now. What would you like to do?
Or
Who do we meet for this? Are we just meeting someone for this job, or are we just killing any undeads? Are we
The
investigating
guard
the undeads?
said your contact is a man named Archer. He's a town elder.
Okay.
Archer Baldwin.
I just start yelling out, Elder, where are you?
Okay. As you start yelling, you see a few of the people kind of come up to you and say, "No, keep quiet, be quiet." And they like, "We'll take you to the elder, but don't shout. You might attract them."
I kind of just grin and just follow.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just.
In the
opening my book.
meantime, while he's doing that, calling for Archer Baldwin and everything, I start firing Eldritch Blast in the air as a beacon to show that we're here.
Okay. You see the people kind of panic. They're like, "No, we'll take you to Archer. Please, just stop doing what you're doing." And they kind of say, "Just
I
follow
shoot
us."
one more.
They're like, "No, please," and they're like desperately like clasping their hands together, almost praying at you.
Alright, fine.
Okay. There it is. Hold on. Okay. You guys are led to what looks like. You notice that the town is kind of barren. There aren't many people out and about. It's, again, middle of the night, pitch black out. The moon isn't in the sky. It might be obscured by clouds. It might just be a new moon. You're not sure. But, you're eventually led to what looks like a town hall. And you see that it's been heavily barricaded. There are makeshift spiked fences on the outside. The windows are all boarded up. There's a little bit of light peering in from the inside. Whew. But you guys eventually, the two citizens of the town kind of take you to the door. They knock on it. It kind of opens a little, and you see a woman peek her head out. She sees who it is. She kind of throws the doors open. You're led inside, where there are maybe 30 or 40 women and children just kind of gathered, huddled together in the center of the building. You see common men with pitchforks and what look like just, crappy weapons. And kind of standing, kind of addressing them is a man wearing what looks like leather armor, still not the best, with a short sword and a crossbow on his back. And he's kind of addressing the crowd as you guys enter. And he's just kind of not shouting, but raising his voice, and he says, "Remember, at 4 a.m. they arrive. All women and children stay in the building. The rest of us will be outside holding them off." He goes, "In the morning, we'll evacuate more people, but again, we're limited by our resources. And he kind of sees you and he kind of gives a curious look. And he kind of stops and hops down from his little perch and he kind of walks over and says, who are you? What do you want?
I'm
We're here
Bill
to help
Mays.
protect your city. We're getting paid. Oh fuck, we don't have an exact payment, and we're expecting to get paid for helping you. We're from the prison.
It told us that you would pay us triple.
Make a deception check.
I'm looking more for magical items of the sort.
All right. That is a.
I whispered to
19.
19.
my companion. What's your name again, Manny?
I opened up a channel in my mind so you can talk to me. Psychic, like a telekinesis.
Do you relay that to me? Do you tell me?
Yeah,
That-
I'd say
okay.
that we can communicate through our minds.
I let them know that they can't really tax the magic items, but that's what we should aim for.
True.
He kind of looks at you and says, I never agreed to pay any amount, so I don't understand how I'd pay triple, but
Well,
I'm glad you're here regardless.
It's understandable if
And
you
he
want to
goes-
just waiver that. We'll waiver that if you can find some magical items.
He goes, I can't promise magical items. We don't have any. We don't have any. But if you can figure out maybe whatever's causing this might have some magical items, I don't know. I'm not. He goes, I haven't been an adventurer for a few years now, but typically undead hordes are controlled by something, especially
I just
when they
realized
come back.
my clock in my room has died on 9/11. That's pretty tragic. Sorry about that.
You're fine. Yes.
Do they have any idea what's causing the undead hordes? Are we in some middle bumfuck nowhere place, Logan? By
Pretty
the way?
much.
Okay.
But he goes, whatever, something's causing this. And he kind of gestures and he says, if the dead were just rising on their own, once we kill them, they'd be gone. But it's the same corpses every night. Even if we dispatch them, the next night they're back again.
Did you bury a pet in the cemetery?
He kind of looks at you and says, the cemetery's been in disuse. We typically burn our dead now.
Okay.
But there were bodies there previously before then, right?
He goes, a fair amount, yes. And he kind of says, the corpses that have been assailing us, they're not rotted per se, but they aren't skeletons either. They look like they did when they were alive, just with lifeless eyes.
Anyone you guys know?
He kind of looks over and says, some of the old folks claim they recognize some of the faces in the crowds, but we can't really be sure.
Recognize
White
them from where?
Walkers.
From their past,
Okay, so people they know.
pretty much.
So white.
Sounds like some black magic.
Black magic. All right. He said it comes from the cemetery. And they're there. And they're ready for us to go ahead
Anyone
and
take
kill.
new residents recently?
Says no new residents. To be exact, we've been losing people. The town's not doing too well. It's in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. We don't have much in the way of an economy, and we don't have much in the way of farming. The few farms we do have haven't been doing too well.
So whoever,
Huh.
if there is someone controlling these undead, it could be someone among us.
He kind of shrugs and he kind of says, keep it down. I've been trying to keep the paranoia of the people down. I have come to the conclusion that it might be someone among us. I hope not. But
Any inclinations of who?
he kind of looks around and says, I've known most of these people their entire lives. I've seen some of them grow up as children. I've seen some of them grow old. He goes, I doubt it's
Insight
any of my
check.
people. Make an insight check.
Let's see. That's 19.
19. He's being forthright. He's not really leaving anything out. He has been here for a while. He goes, kind of looks at you and says, to be honest, you would have been better off if Alexander was here, but he was the original town elder. He was killed a few nights back during one of the attacks, and I've taken up his place. But, and he kind of, all of a sudden you hear kind of screaming coming from outside, and you see him kind of look to the wall, and he's like, and he kind of curses, and he goes, "Shit, it's 4 a.m." And he kind of gestures, and you see the townsfolk start to get panicky. Some of the commoners with pitchforks kind of go to the door, and he goes, if you're here to help, then go kill some undead for us. And he kind of pulls out his short sword, and he heads out into the darkness.
Alright, I run over to where the skull
I
was and
follow
stuff.
suit.
Okay. You guys enter out back into
Basically following that guy.
Yeah, you're following him. You guys enter out. You notice that it's a lot brighter outside all of a sudden. There's this eerie kind of glow that's descended upon the town. The fog has kind of pulled in and is now encompassing. You can only maybe see 10 feet in front of you. And you see figures kind of shuffling in the fog. And I need you guys to roll initiative.
Alright. How far are they from me?
They're not too far.
I got a natural 20.
So what's the total?
It is 22.
22. Okay. Ooh.
It's a 10. Ah, here we go.
Okay, what'd you get, Miney?
10.
10. Sorry. I was filling in from my
Yeah,
guys.
I was letting you do it.
Okay. So up first is Sirocco. You notice there's maybe, it looks like 10 figures kind of in the fog, kind of obscured. They're not obscured to the point where you can't hit them, but they're...
Anything within 300 feet?
Oh, easily.
Like, anything further past, like, 300 feet?
No, they're all within like 20 feet of you.
Anything that, I mean, like, is, like, standing back and within 30, 100
Make a
feet or
perception
something.
check.
15 plus... that's... okay, 17.
17. Peering through the fog with what you can see, you see the initial figures, and then the fog kind of just stretches out into almost like eternity. It just stretches forever. You don't see any hidden figures. You don't see anybody calling the shots. It looks like it's... God damn it, this fucking chair. Sorry. It looks like it's just the figures up close to you.
Alright. Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Which one are you targeting? Just random?
I can hit up to two different two creatures if I do enough damage with one of my Eldritch Blasts.
Okay. Make an attack roll then.
And one of my dice went to the abyss. God damn it. One of them is a nat 20.
One of them is a nat 20. Okay.
And the other is... will a 12 hit.
A 12 will hit.
Alright, sweet. Okay, so with the first one... whew, God. Well, with a nat 20 and I double a 1, so it does 2 plus... plus 8 plus 4 is...
14.
14.
Okay.
That's 14 for the first one. Does that kill it?
It is still standing.
Alright.
You let loose the blast as it kind of trails into the fog, almost parting it, and you see it slam into one of the figures, which kind of lurches backwards, kind of rights itself, and continues moving forward.
All right, and then with the second hit, then, because I'm gonna hit it again.
Okay. Same one?
Yep.
Okay.
Another 2 plus 4, 8, 14.
14. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Really frustrating when you get a nat 20, you get a 1 for damage.
Okay. So you watch as the Eldritch Blast kind of flies forward. And it hits this. The first one hits, lurching it backwards. As it goes to right itself, the second one slams right into its head. And through the fog, you see the head detach, fly backwards, and the creature just kind of flumps to the ground.
All right, sweet. And for my bonus action, I will fly Petrie. I'll have Petrie flying above me within like a 60 feet radius.
Okay, just doing like an aerial view.
Yeah.
Okay. Up next are the creatures. You watch as they kind of lurch. How much their movement? Perfect. You watch them kind of emerge from the fog. They look humanoid. They're pale, but they're not anything unusual. They look just like normal people, but with glazed over eyes. And they're kind of loose. They looks like their skin is kind of loose on their body. They kind of shuffle forward you. One is going to attack. Is it once? Yep. One is going to attack you, Sirocco. That's a 17 to hit.
17 to hit. I'm gonna use my reaction and make him have a disadvantage on that.
Okay, so I'll roll again. Okay, that's a 9 to hit, so that misses.
All right, I have advantage next turn.
Okay.
Okay.
The next one's gonna go. It's gonna go for you. Oh, that's gonna miss. Third one's gonna go for you, Lucian. That is a 13 to hit.
How much?
13.
That misses.
Okay. The last two, one of them's gonna go for Archer. It's a 15, so that hits. That's only 3 damage. So the creature kind of raises its arms up and slams into the Archer, who kind of coughs and kind of stumbles backwards, but he's still standing. And then the final one's going to go for you, Lucian. This is a natural 1, so it's going to miss. So this group kind of emerges from the left side, the left flank, and they do their attacks. On the right side, you watch as another group kind of emerges. This one only 4 strong instead of 5 strong.
All right.
So they're gonna. One's gonna attack one of the commoners who's helping defend, which is a hit. So, yep. You watch as it kind of slams into him. You hear this sickening cracking noise as the guy kind of coughs up blood, collapses to one knee, and then falls over dead.
I have a question, Logan.
Yes.
For the Blood Hunter, so I think I could just make as many mutagens as I want during a long rest, or not a long rest, a short rest.
Okay.
So can I just assume that I can have up to 5 mutagens? Can I assume that I have one of each for now?
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all I was wondering. Thanks.
That's both miss, and then the final one is a miss. So these sluggish creatures aren't hitting too hard. They've already felled one of the commoners. You can see the look on Archer's face. He kind of looks horrified as this man dies. You see one of the other commoners kind of shaking, holding his pitchfork. He kind of looks down at it, takes it, throws it to the ground, and then turns and runs back into the building. So now you guys are surrounded by these creatures. Archer is still standing with you, and it looks like there are no other commoners with you. They've either run off, or they didn't come out in the first place.
How many are there?
There's 9 creatures. One has already been felled. Okay. That is now your turn, Lucy.
Alright, are there any grouped up together, kinda?
There's on the left side, they're only spaced about 5, not even 5 feet apart. They're like right on top of each other. And on the right side, there's 4 right on top of each other.
So it's 4 on the right and 5 on the left.
Yes.
I go toward the left side,
Okay.
and I open on attack. And just I'm gonna take 2 great axe attacks.
Okay. Make your attack rolls.
I'm gonna hit the first one. um, that's no good. I definitely missed. I think with like a. Hold on. 2 plus. 8.
That'll just hit.
I'll just hit. Wow. That's insane.
They're not too hefty.
Alright. So I'll hit with the first one. Let me roll. I think it's a D12, right? Yeah. If I can find a D12. Oh, there it is. Dude, where's my D12s? Oh, found it. Okay. 9 plus 3, I think.
So 12.
12, yeah.
Okay.
Is it dead?
It is still standing. As your axe you take
God.
your axe, you cleave it across the chest, which just opens, and this gout of this sickly green pus just kind of splatters across your feet and across the ground. The creature kind of stumbles a bit, but then it rights itself.
I see that, and I see it get on my foot. I'm like, oh fuck no, and I just take and heave it back the other way and hit the same creature
Okay, make your attack
again.
roll.
Oh, this definitely hits with a fucking 16.
That'll hit.
Right? I mean, I hit with it 2 last time, so. 13 damage.
13. Okay. You take your other axe and you just cleave its head clean off as it just goes spiraling into the air. This little spurt of green pus kind of protrudes out the neck as a creature. Let's see if it can make its save.
Oh, it can fucking get resurrect itself. Can it?
You watch as the creature kind of tries to lurch itself back up
Fucker.
and then just kind of falls down dead.
Undead.
I just blurt out
resilience.
fucking undead.
Okay. That's the end of your turn. It is now Archer's turn. Bottom of the initiative. He's going to attack one of the zombies. And
Wait, question,
Yeah.
after 2 attacks, am I able to take a bonus action?
No, you're in order to do the second attack, it's a bonus action.
For
wait,
extra
does it-
attack?
Oh, for
There's
extra
extra-
attack. No, you're fine.
Yeah.
If it's extra attack, hold on.
I still take a bonus action, or do I have to take it before my attack actions?
No, you can take it with a bonus. A bonus action can be used whenever you want.
Okay. So after I just cleave that thing, I decide I'm gonna fucking put on my I'm using my bonus action to put the right on or whatever
Okay.
on my weapon.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Archer's going to swing at one of the creatures. He hits with a 19, and he does 7 damage. Okay. Back to the top with Sirocco.
All right. Through Petrie's eyes, because I have a bird's eye view and everything.
Okay.
Am I able to see a little bit better, like around?
Make a perception check for Peachtree.
All right, I have advantage through his eyes, and that is I'm using my perception, right?
Yes.
All right, sweet. That is gonna be 19.
19. As Petrie climbs up into the sky, he can see down pretty well. The fog kind of encompasses the entire town, but you notice the faint glow is only emanating from the fog around the center. Or
The
around
center?
around the building you guys are currently surrounded, the longhouse, if you will.
So that's possibly where the target is.
Well, you also see off in the distance on a hill, you see a church, an old dilapidated church that's been run down, and you see that the fog is kind of billowing out of the front doors of the church down the hill into the town. And you notice that the church itself is a much brighter glow.
Okay, is this magical fog by chance?
Make an Arcana check. And this will be
Alright.
just you, not Peachtree.
Okay. That's gonna be 15.
15. The fog, it looks like normal fog, but with the glow and the creatures, you can kind of surmise that it might be magical.
Okay. How many creatures are around?
There are 8 left. 2 have been felled.
Left. All right. First, I'm gonna have to attack again. Eldritch Blast
Okay, make your attack roll.
on the one that just freaking on the one that has that I have advantage on.
Okay.
All right. 18 for the first hit.
That'll hit.
And that's gonna be 17.
To hit?
Yeah. Yeah,
That'll hit.
I had to add. Okay, sweet. All right, sweet. All right, for the first one, it's gonna for the first hit, it's gonna be 12. Okay, 20 for the first hit and 20 for the second hit. Does
Total
the first
40?
one kill him?
The first one will not kill him. Well,
All right, the second one.
the second one will. So let me roll. I did Fortitude. He fails. So you take your Eldritch Blast and you rapid fire them one after the other right into the creature's chest. They leave these gaping holes that just they just kind of don't fit. As the creature kind of like looks down and then just gently falls backwards dead.
Perfect.
Okay.
And yeah, that'll be all. That'll
Okay.
be all.
It is now the zombies group, the first group to attack again. One is going to go for you, Lucian. It's going to miss with a 3. One's going to go for Archer. It's a natural 19, so that hits. And he takes 2 damage, so he's still standing. And the third one's going to go for you, Sirocco. With a natural 2, he misses. So the first group kind of flounders. They do a little damage to Archer, but it is now the second group's turn. And I'm going to use a different die. That's an unnatural 20 to hit you, Lucian.
That hits.
You only take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
One against you, Sirocco. That's a 22 to hit.
I use my reaction.
Do we incur disadvantage?
Yep.
That's a total of 18 to hit.
Still hits me then. Damn.
Oh, crap. Just dropped my dice. Where'd it go? Fuck. There it is. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And then the last 2, they're both going to attack you, Sirocco, because you've been doing the most damage. So that's a 11 to hit and a 14 to hit.
11 misses, 14 hits me.
Okay, you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
Okay, so the creatures have kind of encircled you now and are pushing you back. They're not actually pushing you back, but you have your backs to the closed doors. That's the end of your turn. Their turn. Lucian, you're up.
Alright, hold on. So I'm trying to figure out this shit. How much fucking damage do I get on the weapon? Is it Blood Melody? No. Okay, I amplify it by losing a number of hit points equal to one roll of your Hemocraft dice shown in the Hemocraft die column. This is actually kind of cool. Twice. All right, cool. So I can use it up to 2 times. So I go ahead and I just I kind of just take a dagger out that I have and I just cut across my chest a little bit and I put the blade away and then as soon as like I do that, my my blade just gets covered in lightning. My great axe, and then
Okay.
I go ahead and go. I do one attack against the one of the ones, and if I kill it, then I move on to the next one. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So
Make your attack roll.
fuck. 15. I hit. I think
Yeah, that'll hit.
it's higher than that, but roll damage. I gotta roll my Hemocraft die too. Sorry, there's so much to this fucking character. It's hard to play the first time, or this class. Alright, so with Hemocraft save DC. That's not what do I roll for Hemocraft die, dude? What? Jesus fuck. This attack deals 1d4 damage. Alright, I'm just gonna do 1d4 for now until I figure it out exactly, but I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Alright, so... Fuck. 3 plus 6. No, not 6. 3 plus 3 is 6. Plus a d4. So the first attack is 9 damage total.
Oh, okay.
3 of it's lightning.
Okay. So you take your axe, the lightning crackling in the air, you bring it down and cleave across the chest as more of the green goo just kind of splatters across the ground, this time missing you. But the creature is still standing.
Well, I take my second attack on it.
Okay, make your attack roll.
Okay, I hit with the 13 plus
That'll
numbers.
hit.
10 damage this time.
10 damage. Okay. You take your other axe, crossing this time on the other side, making a large X on the creature's chest. It kind of looks down, looks back at you, and just keeps coming at you.
It's not dead?
It is not dead.
Alright, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. It is now Archer's turn. What is that? Fuck. He goes to swing with his short sword. He kind of stumbles. He's a little woozy. He misses by cleaving over the creature's head. He's going to use a bonus action. Oh, no, he can't. Okay, so he's just going to... He kind of backs himself up into a corner with his short sword out. You can see fear in his eyes. That's the end of his turn. Sirocco, you're up.
Okay. So I know the monsters are around me, right?
Yes.
All right. I use chill and touch
Okay.
or chill touch.
Which one would you like to hit?
Gonna hit one of the ones that are close to me.
Okay, make an attack. Is it an attack roll?
Yep, it
Okay.
is. 18 will hit.
18 will hit.
All right, perfect. Okay, so 2d8.
I'm a dumbass. We get +4 at 10, don't we? For fucking proficiency.
I
Yep.
believe so.
Yeah, we do.
I'm a dumbass. I'm sitting here doing +3 like an idiot.
Alright, this plus... My modifier is. It's gotta be the biggest number, so. Okay, so it's gonna be +4 to that. 12. 12 necrotic damage.
Necrotic damage?
Yep.
Okay, you're fine.
And on the next turn, the creature has a disadvantage on attack rolls against me.
Okay. Against just you or everybody?
No, just me.
Okay. That's the end of your turn?
Nope. Petrie.
Yes.
Bonus action for Petrie. I'm gonna have Petrie gonna have him look a little bit more around to see, go in the direction where the church is.
Okay.
If he can pierce into there.
What's Petrie's movement?
Flight is 60 feet.
60 feet. You get about...
I can disengage and do 120.
With you, Petrie... How does it work? Because it's a bonus action, so Petrie would get his own movement and action. So I'd say you could dash.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bonus action to let him take my... Basically, he takes my bonus action to
Okay.
do his own action.
So he gets 120 feet. He's about halfway to the church.
Alright. That'll be all then.
Okay. It is now the creature's turn. One is going to attack you, Lucian. That's a miss. One is going to attack you, Sirocco. That
Is that
is
the
a...
one?
No, it's not that one yet. That's 19 to hit.
I use my reaction.
Okay, so disadvantage. That's a 7 to hit, so he misses.
Alright, disadvantage next turn. Wait, I got advantage next turn.
Next turn.
Sweet.
And then the final one is a 17 against you, Lucian. Does that hit?
Yeah.
You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
3.
3.
Okay.
Okay, it is now the other group's turn. One's going to attack you, Sirocco. That's a 10 to hit.
Is it the one? I was the one with the disadvantage or not?
Not yet. The one with disadvantage
Okay.
goes next. So that's a 16. That's a 3. So he misses.
Sweet.
The 21 to hit you, Miney.
It's
You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
motherfucker.
And then the final... Is that 3 or 4? I think I have one more. Doesn't matter, he misses. Okay. So they're just slamming into you at this point, but it's your turn, Lucian.
I am gonna attack another one that I see in front of me.
Okay. Make your attack rolls.
The first hit hits. How much damage? They're all the same AC, right?
Yes, as far as you can tell.
I rolled high on that. Fuck yeah. Math. 15 plus, so 17 damage.
Okay. Let's see if its undead fortitude can save it. Ooh.
So I one hit. I one hit it.
It was already weak. They're all pretty much damaged at this point, except for maybe 3 of them.
Because I still have an extra attack, so that's what I was wondering.
Well, it... Hold on, my chair broke again.
Are you able to change targets? Like if I hit one creature, can I hit another creature?
Yeah.
Okay. Just
As long as you don't... If you call your target and you're like, I'm going to hit this guy 2 times, and then you roll to hit and you roll damage, and then the first one, you can't change then. But if you're like, I rolled a hit with one, oh, it's dead, I'll roll to hit the other one.
Okay, that's what I would want to do.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
But, how much did you damage you? You said you did 17?
Yeah.
Yeah, it fails. So, you watch as it kind of try and pulls itself back up, and then it just kind of slumps to the ground dead.
I give it like a double take. I'm looking at it, making sure. I'm like, "Alright," and I go ahead and swing at the next one.
Okay, make your second attack roll.
Uh, 13 plus numbers 6, no, 7 actually.
That'll hit.
That hits. Figured. Yeah. Uh, a 2. Perfect. Okay. So 5, 8 damage total. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. It's now Archer's turn. Let's see. Archer's going to step back and kind of pull his hands together, and you watch as this faint glow kind of encompasses him, and he heals 5 hit points.
That son of a bitch.
Clerics.
That's the end of his turn. Manny, you're up. Or Sirocco.
Alright. I'll go ahead and attack Eldritch Blast.
Any particular target?
Yeah,
There are 3 that are uninjured and 3 that are injured, as far as you can tell.
the injured ones.
Got it.
Gotta kill the little ones. Yeah, that's the dice I wanted. Alright, unnatural 20
That'll hit.
and 10.
Those will both hit.
Alright, sweet. Let's see, D10 dice. There we go. Alright, so 13 for the first hit.
Okay. You slash out with an Eldritch Blast and blow the creature's head clean off. As it kind of like feels around for its head, it just kind of slowly falls backwards and dies.
I hit the other weak one. I hit the other weak one with
Yes.
17 damage.
Okay. So let me roll to see. Nope. So the second shot you fired off, the zombie creature almost kind of like tries to block it. The Eldritch Blast hits its hands, blows them off, and then caves in its chest as it just kind of makes a sickly gurgling sound and then dies.
Sweet.
Okay.
I continue to have
Peachtree?
Peachtree.
So another 120.
Yep.
Okay, Peachtree arrives on the outside, on the outskirts of the church. He can see the fog billowing out of the main hall, and inside he can hear this low hum.
All right. So how many feet is that within?
How many
For
feet?
Peachtree?
How close is he to the inside of the church?
Yeah.
You're only like 10 feet away.
Okay.
Okay. It is now the creature's turns. There's only one left in this group, so it's going to attack you, Lucian. That's a 10 to hit.
Misses.
Okay. The other 3. One's going to attack you, Sirocco. That's a 18.
All right, it hits.
Okay. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
That's a 10, so it misses. And that's a 14, so I'm assuming it misses.
It hits.
Oh, it hits. Okay, so you take
Yeah.
4 points of bludgeoning damage.
4 points. Jeez.
Okay, that's the end of your turn. That's the end of their turn. I'm sorry, Lucien, you're up.
Any near me? Sorry, I'm eating.
There's only one
Maybe.
near you now.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and attack it.
Okay, make your attack roll.
I hit it. It has the same AC as the rest.
Yes.
And I do 7 damage.
Okay. You watch as you carve into the creature and almost slice one of its arms off, but it kind of like grabs its arm and pops it back into place as it just kind of stares daggers at you, still standing.
You son of a bitch! I swing back down on it.
Make an attack roll.
That's
Oh, I
amazing.
think I miss with this one. Nat 1.
What's
Plus,
the total?
So Hold on. Where's... I'm a dumbass. Sorry. 3... 8 total. 8.
Total 8. That'll hit.
Oh my... I can hit with a nat 1. Yes. Alright, let me roll damage. That's the wrong dice. 3... 9 damage total.
9 total. Let's see if its undead fortitude can help. Okay. It just beats it. So you take your axe and you cleave the other arm off, and it kind of looks down and it kind of starts to fall back, but you watch as its eyes open and there's this faint dull glow as its arms kind of reattach themselves, and it kind of lurches back to a standing position, still alive.
I'm like, God damn it. It's the end of my turn.
Okay. It is now Archer's turn. He's going to attack that one to see if he can finish it off. A natural 20. So, oh, and a max damage roll. So let's see if this creature can undead fortitude it, though. With a natural 1, Archer's getting lucky. You watch as Archer takes his short sword and jams it into the creature's chest and just twists as the creature lets out this sickening, gurgling noise, and it just kind of falls off his blade dead as he finishes off
I killed
the
that one.
He kind of looks at you and nods and says, "It's your kill." That's the end of Archer's turn. Sirocco, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna do my bonus action first. I'm gonna have Petrie go inside the building where he hears the chanting.
Okay. Peachtree flies into the building, ducking beneath the archway, and enters inside. It's dilapidated. The roof is caving in, and from what you can see, oh, hold on. From what you can see, the roof is caved in. The pews are all strewn about, but standing at the back of the church, kind of hovering, is this strange cloaked figure, kind of standing as he doesn't. Let's see if he notices Peachtree.
Well, made a.
Roll. Well, go ahead and roll stealth. Yes.
Alright. Is it his stealth or my stealth?
I think it's his.
Alright, cool. 10.
10?
Yeah.
As Petrie kind of swoops down and lands, you see the creature's eyes kind of flash open and he locks onto it, and he just kind of stares at it, but then he kind of returns back to what he's doing.
Alright, how far is he from me? Because I'm pretty sure it took 10 feet to get in there from what you said, right?
Yes, so he's only about 60 feet away.
60 feet away from me?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna have Petrie sit behind one of the pillars for a bit and wait there.
Okay.
And I go for it, and then I do another Eldritch Blast
You got it. Make your attack roll.
on the weakest ones.
They're all about the same at this point. You've pretty much
Oh,
finished
there?
off all the weak ones.
Alright. 14 and 14.
Those will both hit.
Alright. $19 for the first hit.
Okay.
Ooh. And 22 for the second.
Okay. You watch as your Eldritch Blast, the first one blows off one of its arms. It kind of looks at it. The second one blows off the other arm. It kind of looks at it, looks at you, goes to step forward, and just falls face first into the mud.
Alright.
Now it is their turn. One creature is going to attack you, Lucian. That's a 9 to hit.
Misses.
Okay, and then one against you, Sirocco. That's natural 1. So it misses.
Ooh.
So it is now Lucian's turn again.
How many are left?
2.
I go ahead and move up
Okay.
and attack the closest one to me.
You got it. Make your attack rolls.
Alright. I'm going back to my room. 1 second. Alright. I can hit it with the 1. Do I even need to roll?
Just see if you get a natural 20.
Alright. Okay, damn it. No, alright. They're both hits, though.
Okay. Two different
Alright,
creatures.
the first one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Huh?
I was gonna say they're kind of spread out. There's one on the left, one on the right. Which one are you going for?
The one on the left, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, this one's fucking is dead. 11 plus 3 is 14, 15, 16, 16.
16. You watch as your blade. You take your axe. I'm sorry. Spin it around and drive it into the creature's head. The creature kind of lurches. As you pull your axe back, it just kind of looks at you, still standing.
Fucker. And I hit it again.
Okay, make
So-
an attack roll.
I'm not making an attack roll. Fuck you. God damn it, dude. 5 damage.
That's- What the fuck? Click on that. Okay. You take your axe and you drive into the same hole. The creature kind of lurches again and just keeps standing, just barely holding on.
Wow, that's not my turn.
It's now Archer's turn. He's going to try and finish it off. That's a total of 15 to hit. Why am I rolling that again? I'm rolling damage. Okay, and he does 7. So let's see if the zombie can undid fortitude. Yep. So he goes to stab it, and you watch as the zombie kind of goes to fall, and its eyes do that faint glow as it kind of rights itself, and you see Archer kind of, for a brief moment, he panics and he pulls his blade out, but the creature still stands. Whew, that's the end of Archer's turn. Sirocco, you're up.
Alright. Alright, so there's 2 creatures right next to me, and I'm going to use my bonus action first. And I'm going to go ahead and have Petrie go up to the creature and sting it.
Okay.
I'm going to... That's an attack roll. Shit. There we go. 8 plus 4. 12.
12. That'll miss, unfortunately.
Alright.
So, Peachtree
Does
goes
it-
up stealthily and goes to sting as the creature kind of just makes eye contact and just kind of dodges the stinger just in time.
Does it seem like it wants to attack Petrie now?
He seems more engrossed in his ritual.
Alright, I look over to, Lucian.
Okay.
Wait, he's in 5 feet of me, right?
10 feet.
10 feet? I go ahead and move within his range.
Okay.
Alright, I say, good timing. I grab him, and I dimension door towards the chapel, or church,
Okay.
whatever. 300 feet.
Okay. Sorry, just doing the math. Okay, so let me roll initiative. Okay.
But that guy goes next turn, right?
Yeah, you guys get a surprise round basically,
Okay, cool.
because he did not see this coming. So you both kind of apparate into the room. He kind of looks at you a little confused, and then kind of glances around. You see that he is.
I look at him confused.
No one expected this one. Nobody.
Yeah, nobody saw it coming. But he you can see the figure now. He is wearing a cloak, but he's dressed in these green robes. His face is sunken in, almost skeletal, but with these glowing green eyes that just kind of pierce the room. And he kind of looks at you, raises his staff, but you guys go first. So, since it's a surprise round, Sirocco, you're up first.
Okay. Unless Minor has what he wants to do to the guy real quick. I
I have
want
to
to.
move close to him, but
Oh. Was
is this
did
guy
you mention?
flying or hovering or shit? You said though,
He was.
not very high off the ground though, right?
No, just basically, it doesn't look like he can actually fly. He was just kind of hovering.
Alright, that's what I was checking.
Just checking out what Hex does.
Okay, so
Range until the spell range. Okay, that much necrotic. Ooh. Let's see. And what was the effect of that? Or Petri. Okay. All right. I'm gonna use Hex on him,
Hex. Okay. Let me.
and this is gonna be a 5th level because I can only cast it at 5th level.
Okay, there I jotted it down on my little sheet. So he's hexed.
That's my bonus action. I can use an action too,
Uh,
or not.
if it's a bonus action, you still have an action. It's a surprise round. So basically, since it's a surprise round, you just restart. So you get your action, bonus action, and movement.
Okay, and the
Basically, it's
spell...
a free turn for us to only to move
Oh,
and do
you
stuff.
know what really sucks? You know what really sucks about this too? The spell maintains for 24 hours.
Hex does.
Yep, at 5th level. That's funny. All right. I use Eldritch Blast.
Okay, make your attack roll.
Okay, so 19 plus 27 for the first one.
Okay, that'll hit.
Alright, I'm looking to see if this thing also gives me the target has ability checks. Okay, cool. That's all I need to know. Okay. Alright, and just so you know, I choose Constitution for its disadvantage.
Okay,
And does 14 hit?
14 will miss. No, it'll hit. Yes, it'll hit. My bad.
It'll hit?
So both
Alright,
hit.
sweet. 16 for the first one,
Okay.
and 16 for the second one.
Okay.
And also 2d6s of necrotic damage I have to do. Total is 6 necrotic damage.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, and that's the
Okay.
end of my turn
Lucian,
for
you're
the
up.
surprise round.
I move towards the. There's only the guy, right?
It's just him.
Alright,
By the way,
I move towards him.
does this break his concentration?
Yes. Let me roll for his concentration. Okay. So you watch as the spell kind of flickers and then fades as he kind of lands back on his feet.
Alright. Sorry about that. Forgot to ask
Sorry.
that.
You're fine. Lucian, you're up.
Is he within 35 feet of me?
He's about 50 feet away.
I just move my 35 feet, and then I pop one of my mutagens. I'm gonna use. Hold on. Trying to think if I want health or not. Which one's? Hold on. I gotta open my tablet with. Sorry.
You're fine.
Okay, well I'm on to my turn, but I used one of my mutagens. I just gotta figure out which one I'm using.
Okay. Okay. So that's the end of your turn? Okay, now it's the top of the round. Sirocco, you're first. Ah, fuck. My other arm just broke. What the fuck? This
All
chair
right, I'm gonna
sucks.
attack. I'm gonna go ahead and Eldritch Blast him again.
Okay, make your attack rolls.
All right, so
Oh,
18.
I also
and- Okay.
sorry, I also used Healing Hands as my action for that turn.
Okay.
Oh, myself. Alright, sorry, Manny, go. Sorry.
No problem. 18 and unnatural 20.
Both will hit.
Sweet. All right. 18 plus that. 19 damage. With yeah, 19 damage.
Okay.
See. 20 plus another one of necrotic damage. All right. That's for the first thing. Next with Petrie, I'm gonna sting him. I'm gonna try stinging him again.
Okay, make your attack roll.
Come on, Petrie. Damn it. 12 again.
That'll miss.
That's depressing.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, that's his turn now. He is going to cast Crown of Madness on you, Lucian.
Fuck.
Give me a Wisdom saving throw.
No.
Give me a Wisdom saving throw.
Damn it. He knows I have low wisdom. What is that? Unnatural 1.
Unnatural 1. Okay.
Eeh. Eeh. Eeh.
Okay. It is. You are now charmed.
Fuck.
The creature's then going to kind of back up, and it's going to be your turn. You're gonna. It wants you to move into range of Sirocco and attack him.
I move it to range and attack you. Sorry, Manny.
Within 35 feet, right?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Oh, I just moved 35 feet from you, so it means I moved 35 feet back to you.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold
So-
on. No, it can't. The target creature must use its action before moving.
Oh, so I move and then I don't attack?
You move towards him, but you don't attack.
Basically,
Alright,
this is what,
I'm right in
this is what
front of
you
your
do, mate.
face, pretty
This
much.
is what you do, Mighty. You freaking hit you. It's like you slash at the air and then you charge at me.
Sirocco, you watch as this strange crown of almost thorns kind of gently places itself on top of Lucian's head. But that's the end of the creature's turn, and that's the end of Lucian's turn. You're up, Sirocco.
All right. I'm just gonna ignore the fact that this guy, he has a crown of thorns on his head, and I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the fucker in the back again.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack rolls.
Well, for the first one, that's gonna be a 22,
That'll hit.
and the second one is a natural 1.
That'll
So
miss.
that's not gonna
So the
hit.
first one hits.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Was 24 damage
24.
and concentration check, right? As a Crown of Madness.
I don't know if it is Crown of Madness. It is concentration. So let's see. You said 24 total?
Yeah, so that's half of it, so it's 12 he had to beat.
He rolled a.
Concentration is a constitution check, basically,
That's what I'm
right?
looking at. Constitution is +1.
So he has disadvantage on it.
Okay, he's
also,
disadvantage.
because of Hex.
Okay, so it went from being a 12, which would have succeeded, to a 3, which fails. So he is. Miney, you are no longer charmed.
I'm just like, I'm staring at you like, I just let out a sigh.
Hi. And with Petrie, I try to sing him again. I will
Okay.
get him eventually. I will fucking get him, cause I want to get this fucking sting. 4. I mean, 4 plus 16 is 20.
Unnatural 20, yeah. That'll hit. Go ahead, roll damage. What's the
Alright,
damage
sweet.
type?
I'm looking to see what damage type it is. It doesn't even say. It's a physical attack.
Is it poison or just piercing?
Piercing.
Piercing? Okay, good to know. That'll hit, though.
Okay, and you become poisoned for 1 hour. Wait, and you said you got a 3, right?
On its constitution, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he also falls unconscious.
From what? The poison?
Yes.
No, the 3 was for his concentration.
No, wait. Oh, okay. You didn't make a Constitution check. Okay, make a Constitution saving throw also then.
He rolled a 3 again, so he failed.
All right, he's unconscious, and let's see how much damage he took. That's 1d4 plus 2. That is 4 damage also. He takes 4 piercing damage. But yeah, he's unconscious
Okay, he's unconscious.
for 1 hour.
Okay.
And poison.
He is poisoned and unconscious. Well, he's immune to poison, but he's unconscious.
Yeah. Alright. That's the end of my turn.
Okay, it would now be his turn. He is unconscious, so it is now Lucian's turn.
I go, what do we do now?
I don't know, you want to kill him?
Doesn't any damage will wake him up, right?
Yeah, actually, I don't know, you want to lose his body real quick before he wakes up in an hour?
Sure.
I don't know. It's like that point where you're like, you get to the point where you actually did something that you wanted to do, and then you don't know what to do after that.
Okay.
You can prepare to kill him if you want.
There's no combat right now, right?
Nope, you're out of combat. He's unconscious.
I investigate his person.
Make an investigation check.
17 something.
You find about 50 gold, old gold too. You look at it and you realize
I pocket that.
this has been minted maybe 100 years ago.
Oh shit.
So
And you
more
also-
valuable.
You also find a gnarled wand.
I take it.
Okay, you now have, well, you'd have to look it up later, but for now you have a wand.
I
That's
guess we can
shaking-
kill him unless we want to interrogate him and bring him back to town.
Not shaking him awake or anything. I take his robe off.
Okay, you take off his robe. Underneath, he's wearing what looks like just these tattered remains of ancient clothing. And his crown kind of is broken and kind of just slightly askew on his head. But you get some ratty robes if you'd like.
Okay. Ratty robes, and I'll take that crown. Okay, we can take him over there if you want.
Yeah, I pull out, I'm assuming I have rope with my explorer's pack.
You have rope.
I use that to tie him up.
Okay.
And what was it? What kind of crown is it?
It's just a basic iron crown.
All right.
I'm
Okay.
just carrying him like fucking with one arm, just like a pig or something.
Okay. You throw him over your shoulder and you kind of carry
Yeah.
him down. He's wrapped up in a rope. You notice the fog is gone. It's dissipated. And as you make the trek back to the town, you see that the town hall is burst open and it is oddly quiet.
I just throw him down and go, I think this is your guy that's summoning the undead.
Okay. You notice there's no one outside the gates or outside the doors.
What?
Okay, so
Is
they're
there anyone in
all,
the city at all?
they're
Make a
all
perception
undead.
check.
All right, I'll make a perception
one.
check through Petrie.
Oh, one.
-1, so 0.
You've gone blind.
God damn it.
Let's see. Where is the perception for Petrie? All right, so 19.
Okay.
In a bird's eye view.
As you look into the Great Hall, you see that there are. You see the two creatures you were fighting earlier. They seem to have made their way inside. You see
I
that
thought
they
they were
are.
being controlled. Oh shit.
They are. These. The fog is gone, and the creatures no longer have that strange glow about them, but they still are standing.
Okay.
And you see them just. They're just tearing into the crowd. Women and children screaming and running away, but it looks like maybe Archer wasn't able to fend them off by himself.
How many were there when we left them? Just one?
There was
Two.
There was two, and one was already practically dead.
Oh. Well, I run and just try and kill the creatures.
Okay. Roll a new initiative.
So I guess I'll just drop that guy where he's at. uh. 8.
I'm gonna keep my foot on Petrie. I'm not Petrie. On the culprit for the time being. I have 300-foot range for Eldritch Blast.
Okay. What's your initiative?
5.
5. Okay. Up first is the zombie. You watch as it just. Yep, you watch as it just raises its arms above this woman, slams them down, and you hear the sickening crack as she just goes limp and falls to the floor. Actually, you do notice that there's no sound. It's oddly quiet.
It's all an illusion.
Like no screaming or.
Yeah, they look
Can
like
I
they're
see-
screaming, but there's no noise.
Can I see if this is all like a major illusion?
Make a perception check.
Perception check. All right. 16.
It's not an illusion per se, but something is off.
All right. Can I check if it's magical or not?
Make an Arcana check.
13. $13.
13? Sorry, I zoned out. I totally zoned out. With a 13, something is off. You can't quite
Okay.
put your finger on it, but it does seem magical. And as with a 13, you do notice, kind of sitting off to the left, leaning up against the longhouse, is Archer. You can see he's pretty beaten up. His sword is thrown somewhere into the darkness, and he's just kind of sitting there quietly, just breathing, not even making eye contact.
Okay. Who's first? It was Might, right?
Yes. Lucian, you're up.
I'm just going up and gonna hack those zombos.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Uh. 10.
10 will hit.
No, higher than that 11.
That'll hit.
Sorry, stretching. Alright. Eight, nine, 10.
Does Mai's freaking blade make sound?
What?
Does Mai's blade make any sound when he hits the freaking creature?
Yes. How much damage do you do my zoned out again?
Hold on. 15 damage. This is
Okay.
good.
It is still standing.
I hit it again.
Okay. Go ahead and make your second attack roll. It's just a formality. You basically hit, because with a natural 1, you still hit.
Yeah.
A whore.
I know. 9 damage.
That'll do it.
Alright. It's in my turn.
Yeah, it fails
Actually-
its undead fortitude.
When it gets half, I'm taking. I was still picking my feats. I'm taking Great Weapon Master.
Okay.
So, it says on my turn. Oh no, it says when I score a critical hit. God damn it. Never mind. Okay, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. It is now you, Sirocco.
All right.
Oh, it says
I
or
al-
reduce a creature to 0 hit points. Okay, I can. Oh no, it says with 1. Creature to 0 hit points with 1. You can make it 1 mana weapon attack as a bonus action. Okay, that's confusing. I don't like that. Go on. End of my turn. Sorry.
I Eldritch Black Archer.
Eldritch Blast Archer?
No. But I'm tempted to because it seems like he's sus. I Eldritch Blast the 2 zombies.
Okay. make
Which
sure it's-
Robert want?
Well, there's only one. The other one was killed.
Okay. And that's 2D rolls. 20. Okay, so 16 and unnatural 20.
To hit?
Yep.
Those both hit.
Alright. 19 for the first one.
Okay.
And 13 for the second one.
Okay. And it fails its undead fortitude. So you cast your Eldritch Blast. They both slam into the creature, which kind of spins around and just falls to the ground dead.
No sound?
No sound. It's odd. But you see for a brief moment Archer kind of open his eyes and he kind of struggles to sit up. He kind of limps over to you two and he's just breathing very heavily and he says, "Did you kill the thing in the church?"
What thing are you talking about?
He goes, the Deathlock.
Oh, you mean this thing?
He kind of says, "Yes, that thing." He goes, you see all of a sudden the fog start to kind of roll back in and encompass you guys. And then it kind of pulls back and the town is suddenly dilapidated. The buildings are caved in. The longhouse is is unkempt and falling apart. And you see Archer is suddenly an old man.
So it is major illusion.
He goes, "It's not an illusion. It's a punishment." He goes, "When I was an adventurer, I pissed off a patron or deity or whatever." And he goes, "And it trapped me here. Every night, I have to watch my family and friends be killed by these zombies every night."
Alright.
And he goes, and he kind of points to the Deathlock and he says, "If that thing dies, I'm free." And he kind of starts walking over to kill it.
I go to snap its neck.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Oh crap. Alarm went off. Naps. That's neck snapping roll with advantage, right?
Yes. It's prone, it's unconscious.
Alright. This is a strength? Is this strength or dexterity?
Probably strength, because you're trying to snap its neck.
Alright. That is 16.
That'll hit.
Alright. I go to snap his neck.
Okay, roll damage.
How much damage do I roll for neck snapping?
Damage. You can make this an unarmed if you'd like.
That's a D4.
Yes.
Alright. So that's a total of 6 damage.
6 damage. As Archer kind of walks over to it, you kind of grab its neck real quick, and one swift cracking motion, you just snap its neck, and you see Archer kind of like take a deep breath, and he kind of just smiles. He says thank you, and then he falls down dead.
I loot his body.
Okay, you find maybe 25 copper.
Damn it.
Do I still have that gnarled wand I found?
You look in your pack, and the wand is still there.
And the coins? Yes.
Yes, and the coins.
25 fucking copper. Damn it.
Okay. And that is
Nothing
where we'll
else?
end it for today.
Alright.